What's going on, everybody? My name is Tomas. This is my review of the PXC 550 wireless Bluetooth headphones by Sennheiser. Sennheiser was kind enough to send these out to me for review so I could take a closer look at them and give you guys my thoughts on them. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this video. The unboxing experience of the PXC 550s is a really pleasant one, cutting the tops and bottoms of the tape off, slide the top off the box, and you're getting into the package itself. There's some documentation below the carrying case, which is holding your headphones and all of its accessories. Getting into the case, you can see that your headphones are stored away really nicely, and there's a little pouch inside the case that hold all of your accessories, which include an airline adapter jack, 1/4-inch adapter, micro USB cable, and finally the 3.5mm headphone jack adapter, so you can go wired with these headphones. Now that you know what you get when you purchase these headphones, let's talk about the build quality. The PXC 550s are extremely lightweight, and that's a good thing, especially considering when and where you're going to be using them. These are a travel headphone, and the provided carrying case really means for you to get out there and go, especially with the active noise cancellation that's provided within these. They are a great headphone that are really lightweight with some really decent material choices to construct them. One area of concern, however, is the ear cup hinge is made of plastic, and I understand that Sennheiser probably made this decision to make the headphone lighter because a moving mechanism that's made of metal or aluminum or something like that is going to increase the weight of the headphone. Just one thing that I was concerned of when I opened these, and you're going to be twisting and turning these headphones quite a bit, I don't know how the plastic of those hinges will hold up over time. So just be aware of that. Not only are they of a strong construction, the PXC 550s were awarded the IF World Design Award for travel headphones for 2016. That's a huge thing to consider when you're thinking about design over construction. Now, design and construction don't mean anything if the headphone isn't comfortable to wear. I can say with confidence that the PXC 550s fit really nicely on people with large heads and medium to large size ears. The circumferential design of the ear cup fits really nicely over my ears. The headband produces enough space and comfort of pressure over the top of my head, and the ear pads are just like pillows. They feel really nice. I can say that these headphones will work well with people with large heads, so if you're concerned with that, I wouldn't be, because the PXC 550s fit really nicely on my giant head. Now let's talk about the ear cups. The right ear cup of the PXC 550 is the driver and control center for the headphones. It provides a touch sensitive pad that allows you to adjust volume, skip tracks, and do all of that type of stuff. In addition to giving you access to the mic when you're making phone calls and having switches for active noise cancellation and speak control enhancement. The right ear cup is your driver, and I almost forgot to say that it also provides the power to the headphone. Twisting at 90 degrees will allow for you to turn on and off the headphone. The really pleasant voice within the headphone lets you know that the headphone is powered on or off and paired. Now, the touch sensitive controls provide volume up and down by swiping respectively. In the phone, you can tap the headphone to accept and end calls, press and hold to reject calls, swipe back to mute, swipe forward to unmute, and press twice to put people on hold or take them off of hold. While enjoying your music, you swipe forward to hit the next and back to hit the previous tracks, swipe forward and hold to fast forward, back and hold to rewind, tap to play and pause, and while you're listening to music, if you tap it twice, you can talk through. Essentially, the music stops and it utilizes a 3-beam system microphone to amplify your surroundings, and you can speak to people. This is a really nice addition, especially when you have people trying to talk to you and you have an active noise cancellation. You can really just mute out the world. But if you utilize this feature, it enhances your surroundings, so you can eavesdrop and do all that type of stuff if you need to. It's a really nice system, provides for some accessibility for those of you that are hard of hearing as well. The PXC 550 has NFC pairing enabled, so you would just tap your phone to the left ear cup and it will automatically pair to whatever device it is you're using. Along with the ear cup comes the ear pads. So the high quality leather utilized in the ear pads dissipate heat really well, and it isn't prone to accumulating sweat around your ear. The PXC 550 feature a smart pause feature, so when you take your headphones off or lift a headphone up to listen to somebody, it will pause the music. Now, this must be enabled within Sennheiser's CapTune app that's available on Android and iOS. Just know that you have it, but you have to turn it on in app. The arm that is holding the ear cups to the headband is of a really high quality material and is graduated, so you can make precise adjustments to the size of your head. So you can do 3-4 clicks on each side or each ear cup and make them perfectly asymmetrical across the way, because I know I like to do that. I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to that. The PXC 550s have a total of 4 microphones that are dedicated to active noise cancellation and 3 microphones that are dedicated to making voice calls and speech. They have Bluetooth 4.2 built into them, so when you pair it with whatever device, you're going to get some high quality sound, whether it be with your phone call or your music. You just have to be sure that you turn on the Bluetooth, and that can be a little difficult to locate considering that the Bluetooth switch is hidden. But if you don't want to listen to your music via Bluetooth, you can utilize the included 3.5mm headphone jack adapter cable and use the PXC 550s as you would any other headphone. There's an effect mode button on the PXC 550s that if you press it, it enhances vocals. So you can hear whoever it is you're talking to on the phone, or if you're talking to somebody through the headphone, or if you want to listen to whatever music it is that is playing, it'll reduce all over the frequencies and focus on the mid-range where most people's voices fall. So it'll enhance the mid-range, and you can hear more clearly what it is people are talking about. And that's a really cool feature. And last but not least is the LED indicator that will show status of your headphone, whether it's getting low on power, if it's paired correctly, if it's having some trouble pairing or whatever. The LED status indicator on this thing will let you know what's going on with the headphone. Moving on from the ear cup to the headband, it is really nice and bendy, and it doesn't place too much pressure on your head. So if you have a big head like mine, the headband will accommodate you very well. The leather dissipates heat really well as well, and it just feels really comfortable on the top of my head and doesn't place too much pressure on my ears, expediting the ear fatigue that you may encounter with other headphones if you have a big head. And I'm sure those of you out there that have big heads know what I'm talking about. The battery life on these is fantastic. Sennheiser claims 30 hours of use without active noise cancellation enabled. And if you enable that feature, you can get around 20. That's just because you're powering the 4 microphones to actively listen for those low frequencies, continuous frequencies, and cancel out those noises so you can enhance your listening experience. I can confirm that these statements are pretty close to accurate, if not a little bit of an underestimation. I was using these headphones for a full month and only had to charge them up twice in that whole month. And to recharge the 700 milliamp hour battery within the PXC 550s, it takes about 3 hours, so it's not too bad of a recharge time. And you can also continue to listen to them if you have a battery bank and you have a really long cable. You can attach that, and if you're running low on battery and on the go, you can just plug them in and they'll keep playing. Let's get down to the brass tacks of this review. What do the PXC 550 sound like? Well, I need to preface this section by saying sound is subjective, so you hear things completely differently than I do because our ears are capable of hearing different types of frequency response ranges. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the PXC 550s, but just know that if you decide to purchase them based on this review, you may have a different perspective. The loudness on these things are fantastic. You can really pump up the volume without having to worry about any type of distortion. The 17 to 23,000 hertz frequency response range on these headphones that is represented in the PXC 550s really allow for a developed soundstage, so you can really hear the differences and separation between the mids, lows, and trebles, because the typical human ear hears between 20 and 20,000 hertz. So you're getting a little bit of extended range there when you have the PXC 550s on your head. The treble on the PXC 550 is separated really well. I will say, however, that there were some times when I was listening to some hip hop music that the mids and the bass were mixed together. And I tested this by utilizing them wired and wirelessly. I tested it wired in comparison to my HD 558s by Sennheiser, and you can tell that there isn't that much separation between the mid and the low range. The active noise cancellation works really, really well. The 4 mics do a great job at canceling out pretty much any constant environment frequencies by actively listening for them and inverting those frequencies so they don't make a sound when they hit your eardrum. The PXC 550 does this really well without giving you that pressurized feeling over your ear, like if you just got off a plane or something. Before I close this video out, I want to say, because sound is so subjective, just know that if you decide to get the PXC 550s based on this review, you can adjust everything about them to enhance your listening experience and play to your preferences. But that customization is going to cost you a pretty penny, because these headphones at the time of this video are $399 USD. If you're interested in pricing and availability, hit the links in the description and you can check it out for yourself. Well, that about does it for me in this one. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If not, hit the other one. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I'll catch you in the next one.